Joining us now is Gary Johnson, the former governor of New Mexico, a Republican, 1995 to 2003, who is now the Libertarian presidential nominee.
I'm going to argue that we should not bomb Iran, that we should get out of Afghanistan tomorrow, bring the troops home, that marriage equality is a constitutionally guaranteed right. Let's end the drug war. Let's legalize marijuana now. I would have never signed the National Defense Authorization Act, allowing for you and I as U.S. citizens to be arrested and detained without being charged. I think that's why we fought wars. I would have never signed the Patriot Act. I think the Homeland Security is incredibly redundant. TSA should not be the federal government. It should be airports, airlines, states, municipalities. Balance the federal budget now. I think that we all recognize that what we're doing is not sustainable. I think the day of reckoning is close when we experience a monetary collapse. A monetary collapse, very simply, is when the dollars that we have in our pocket don't buy a thing because of the accompanying inflation that is going to go along with borrowing and printing money to the tune of 43 cents out of every dollar we're spending. And then front and center, jobs. I'm going to be the only candidate advocating eliminating income tax, corporate tax, abolishing the IRS, replacing all of that with one federal consumption tax. In this case, I'm embracing the fair tax. I think that's really the answer to jobs, because in a zero corporate tax rate environment, if the private sector doesn't create tens of millions of jobs, I don't know what it's going to take to create tens of millions of jobs. It's the answer when it comes to exports, bleeding out all existing federal tax out of all goods and services. It's the answer to China. I see manufacturing jobs flocking back to the United States given a zero corporate tax rate environment. Are you hearing these things from these other two guys? No, not even remotely close.
Are you doing anything to get into the debate cycle with Obama and Romney?
We had a similar question, Governor Johnson, via Twitter. What do you say?
Well, right now I'm excluded from the first debate. The commission that determines who gets in the debates is the Presidential Debate Commission. And guess what? The Presidential Debate Commission is private, and they're made up of Republicans and Democrats with absolutely no interest whatsoever in seeing a third voice on stage. We have filed 3 lawsuits to get me on stage based on other third-party candidates who have filed lawsuits. There doesn't seem to be much hope, but we filed on antitrust grounds, something that has not been done before.
How much do these debates matter, Gary Johnson, and what are you looking forward to hearing on Wednesday?
Well, the debates are tantamount to my having a chance at winning. Without being on the debates, I think that you can just kind of close the lid on being able to win the election.